Hey, what's going on, everyone? I have John here. He's been a long-term client of ours. He's seen massive progress in his funding business over the past year. So I wanted to bring him on so we could feature his massive success, hopefully learn something from what he's implemented so that you can all use this as well in your own business. So thanks so much for hopping on, John.
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate you having me on as well. Super excited to talk with you today and kind of share my experience with CCA. It's been an absolute game changer so far. So,
So yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah, I wanted to start with like a big win that you've had. I know when you first got started with us, you're making around the 80K a month revenue range, which is awesome. And now
hmm
apparently you're spending 80K a month on ads right now. So what do you think has been like the biggest contributor, and how's that been for you now having to spend that much money? I know you're talking about something to do with mindset as well. How's that been for you?
yeah. So before I was doing 60K, 80K a month, which is pretty good. I mean, for most people out there, right? So now we're doing anywhere from 200K to 250K a month. And the most important thing is just dialing in the systems, right? The systems, the processes, fulfillment at the same time, marketing, dialing the marketing. And I mean, CCA has made it a game changer as far as, getting the systems in place, managing clients, things like that. And you guys even cover Instagram DM ads, Facebook ads, things like that. And I've always spent pretty heavily on Meta. Scared money don't make money is what I always say. I think people are scared to spend money, but even if you break even, it's fine, right? Getting your cost per acquisition back is a main thing. But yeah, the main thing is we went from, 60K, 80K a month to around 200K to 250K a month. And a big contributor too was kind of mimicking what you're doing, right? With the course mentorship. I mean, we don't help out funding companies, we help out funding clients, right? So with the 2.5K package for funding, so that's been a game changer too.
Charge the upfront package. No, I mean, that's a huge progress. I mean, basically 3, 4x the business right there. So yeah, huge win already. But yeah, man, to then bring it back as well, like, what kind of got you in the funding space originally? How long have you been in the credit and funding industry overall? What kind of got you excited about it?
Man, so I mean, I have the same old sob story than most people, right? You had a 520 credit score, paid three different repair companies, finally fixed my credit. And then back in 2020, I actually paid another company called MB Capital, Eric Mallow. Shout out to Eric in New Jersey. But he got me 110K back 6 years ago. And that's kind of when I got into it myself. I paid it for another mentorship, 30K back in 2023. So 3 years ago now, after I paid that 30K, I stacked to 365K in one round. And then after that, I kind of fell in love with the process, right? So been fully in it for maybe like 2.5, 3 years. The reason why I didn't fully dive into it because I was making, 500K a year knocking doors, dude. So, and then I got let go of that job in Vermont because we couldn't sell solar anymore. So I kind of, fell into, funding full time about 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, 2.5 years from now, be making 250, 300K is huge. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's like a lot of people. You kind of had like a need maybe for funding and you want to launch your own business. And you saw how like maybe predictable it is, and how I love how it's like black and white, right? I got you the desired
Yeah.
outcome. Some ads agencies, it's like 1 month's good, 1 month's a little bit more difficult. I got
Yeah.
you the 100K, you got the money, we got paid. So yeah, no, I think similar story for I think a lot of us, which is great. So yeah, going from the door knocking to now launching the business. And so you mentioned that some of the big things that helped you now get to this space were some of the systems and everything. So what were maybe like the biggest challenges you're running into when you first were looking at the CCA program, and what were you hoping to accomplish when you came to us?
Yeah, so the great thing with the CCA program is it's pretty much like a business lending in a box, I want to say, because I spent so much in mentorships, man, and so have you, and so many other companies, right? 80K in funding mentorships, 24K in Hormozy's mentorship, whatever it may be. Yours is like you have everything in one box, right? So you have like the Instagram DM ads, the Meta ads, the AI agents, the fulfillment system. You have the data points, which is big for me. But the biggest game changer for me personally is just having the data points in the systems, right? Because if I'm selling a 2.5K course, I want to automate the process as soon as or as easy as possible for my clients because it's group coaching. So the best thing for me is a community, cross-referencing data points, making sure the data points are right so we get some big wins, and then having the back-end systems because we kind of touched on this earlier, but within ProView, great team, shout out to Lamar and Kevin, but essentially I would outsource all my clients and I did not have control, right? So the reason why I went with you guys, back, what was this? Maybe a year now, almost a year now, right?
Yeah, it's about a year. Yeah.
Was to kind of launch my own in-house stuff on my portals, the backend systems, the SOPs. Like the SOPs are big too. Was a big game changer for me, I would say, to kind of move from a partner team to in-house fulfillment.
Yeah. What do you think was kind of holding you back from building that out before? Like you just wanted to kind of the copy and paste model, or did you try it and it was kind of like difficult, or just overwhelming already. You're already running a business right now. So like, what was like the main thing you think that stopped you from the fulfillment or back end process?
So I used to do in-house like 2.5 years ago, then brought out Impruvia. The main reason is I don't like the back end systems. I'm more of like a sales guy, marketing guy
Mhm.
myself. I'm a big believer in delegation. So right off the bat, I pretty much, hooked up with Impruview. I was doing 40, 50 clients on a monthly basis every single month. So I would say probably could have figured it out, but I'm a big believer in just spending money to make money again, fast track because you can't get back lost time, right? So I knew they had a good system in place. So that's why I paid you to kind of help me get set up.
Mm.
Because I mean, I probably would have been using like a Google Excel sheet,
Mhm.
been very organized. Everything's super organized in CCA with all the data points, SOPs, things like that is a big game changer for me.
Yeah, so you're kind of like more like marketing, sales personality. I'm like surprised like a big systems guy. So I spend so much time on it. It's like kind of what fills my cup in the business. So then I guess for you, it's like how can I just step out of that element? Like you said, like maybe spend money to hand this off, which is a great mindset to have. Like, how do you think about money? You think in general, because you're kind of talking about having to spend more, so people get worried about that. What do you think is like your whole mindset around like spending money to grow the business?
I mean, we both business credit card stack, right? We teach clients this on it every single day. I built 1.1 million business credit. I'm gonna leverage that 0% as best as possible to kind of, use it for my business or marketing, hiring, get the points back. For example, Meta, you get 4x points back. That you can travel hack and get 3x points back on top of that. But essentially with money, the biggest thing I look at is return on ad spend and cost to acquire a client. Even if I make my money back in 2, 3 months, the goal is to make it back within the first month to kind of, I guess just grow a little bit faster. I'm okay with it because if I recover my cost per acquisition in the first month or 2 weeks, I know that my systems and processes and webinars are going to upsell that client later on and increase the LTV is a main goal, right? So even if you just spend a lot of money to test out, maybe 10K, 20K goes, directly towards ad spend just to test it out. You figure out your winning ads and you kind of go backwards from there, right? And you scale.
Yeah. I notice like a lot of people that are really successful, I think they have a lot of this like thought process around like ROI, money in, money out. It's like, do you think you're always like that too? Or maybe implementing some of the systems made it more obvious for you? Or were you always kind of like money focused? Because I think some people struggle with what should I do in the business? Like everything feels on fire, but then I don't really know what's broken because I'm not necessarily studying the data points or studying the data ultimately with the funnel, the ads. I don't know what the worst metrics are. So I don't really know what I should be focused on to improve. Like, you think you're always kind of numbers focused, or what kind of got you into that like position? Because that's obviously what I've seen a lot of successful people know how to, put together.
Yeah, so I mean, my mindset is numbers, right? Like I love math, stats, in college I was a stats tutor and things like that. So I've always loved math and KPIs and numbers like trackers and all that stuff. Since for the past 6 years or so, I mean, even back when I paid 30K for that mentorship, man, like I wasn't even in the funding space. I just
Mhm.
paid 30K for that mentorship just to learn it and fast track and, stack, close to 400K and that one around.
What kind of got you into this like ROI mindset? Like, how do you think about that whole aspect, and what kind of clicked for you, I guess, when you started to think more in ROAS and ROI for ad spend? Because a lot of people, like we
Uh-huh.
said, they kind of get scared about spending more money, but they also, because they don't track everything, they don't really know what's broken in the business. So like you said, like math is so important. So how'd you
Yeah.
kind of get into that?
I mean, first off, if you don't know your numbers, figure out your numbers, right? And the only way to know your numbers is to ask other people in the space to kind of see what the average numbers are, or just spend money yourself to figure out the numbers. Once you know your numbers, you're good. You can reverse engineer things, which is super easy, right? So the
Mhm.
biggest thing is doing that and then tracking your return on ad spend. So for example, if I have a 3x return on ad spend, if I had a money printer in my backyard, walked into the money printer, put $1 in there and $3 spit out, like that's pretty sweet, right? Get $3 are put into it. I know some people doing 4x, 6x, on our webinars, we've done 8x before. So it's
Mhm.
more about whatever money I put out. If I know I'm going to get $3 out from data, then I'm going to do it because data means everything in any kind of business out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, really, I'd say probably every single guy that I've talked to that makes over six figures a month knows his numbers, knows what's probably lacking right now, what to focus on. So then do you think with the systems that we've then put together, now you have like more clarity with the front end metrics, the back end metrics, like now you know how to improve your fulfillment? Like, has that really helped a lot now, tying it in with like the math that we talked about?
Yeah, it has. So I've always had like KPI trackers and all that stuff, especially for like Instagram DM ads, I guess closing things like that. But you guys have a lot of trackers that are very good, right? So definitely help me I guess fast track with your trackers, which is good. Especially like the biggest difference in anything, one small change in numbers, a 5% higher close rate, a 2% better, setter rate, cheaper cost per lead. That's gonna make the biggest difference. Like for example, your sales, like I'm a pretty decent closer. I've been doing high ticket sales for the last 9 years, but your sales scripts and all that stuff have definitely increased our close rates on the tracker and all that stuff. And we can play with the tracker and be like, all right, cool. What happens if we go from 30% to 40%?
Mm,
So that's been a game changer for us, with the sales scripts, the delegation, the fulfillment at the same time, manage clients.
yeah, no, 100%. So, yeah, we were talking about how you were handing off fulfillment. You ended up bringing it in house. So a big part of that was the back end that we installed. I believe we started helping you with the recruitment, the placing as well. So like, was that whole process of helping you put together your own team with our SOPs and some of our placement service, was that helpful for you as well? What does your fulfillment team kind of look like now?
I mean, my team's pretty big overall. I have like one operations guy. I have like four different setters. We have four closers. What is that? Like 9 people right there. Then we have three different CSMs right now. Your whole team places CSMs. We have Louisa, we have Carlos, we have Leonardo doing a great job. And that's been a big help for me, right? Is, business credit card stacking, it seems simple. It's really not to a lot of people out there. Like if you're not in the space, you know, like the little nuances, bureau stacking, wiping out inquiries, what banks to go with. It takes the average person to kind of, learn that, 2, 3, 4, 5 months sometimes, right? So you guys definitely help fast track that process with the commandos, the credit commandos and the CSMs to make my life a lot easier for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah, I think we actually just did a placement for you recently too. So yeah, now you got three commandos. We call 'em credit commandos. So for anyone else, most people call them credit specialists, but you just call them commandos because on the front lines, it just sounds a little more fun. So
Mm.
that's what we do. But okay, yeah. So we help with that. Then the data points I know was really important for you as well. You mentioned that we kind of make it a little bit easier. I think I just saw you recently post about a 150K loan approval for a client, which is a massive win. So how's the whole data point process been for you with the program? Like help.
Yeah, it's been great so far. So, I mean, I've been in multiple, programs, funding programs. I would say you guys have the most diverse data point program out there. It's the most up to date, which is good. You guys have pretty much every single bank out there. I like the internal notes. You guys have like AI bots too, which is pretty nice, makes it a little bit easier. But it's really easy for me to kind of go in and kind of see what I'm missing, just hop into the portal really quick, check out the state data points, maybe the deep state data points as well, and just kind of see what's going on and cross reference, right? Because the issue with data points and for people watching this is data points change all the time, every day, every week, every month. Sometimes these data points are changing. So it's good to kind of hop into the portal, kind of see what to put, which has been a big game changer. And at the same time, like I said, we do the group coaching for funding. So, like, when I'm building out a stack for people, it's really easy for me to kind of delegate and make it as easy as possible for me to give them the right data points if
Mhm.
I can take the community's data points.
Yeah, that's like the whole goal with the setup is like obviously the owner, we hope to have like full context for them, but also because it's like so like templatized, you can have like team members integrate, hop in and start to take that off of your plate as well. But yeah, we have our master tracker, which has all the different banks, and we update that live with any kind of new context we get. So we have AI scrapers and school groups and forums. We got over 100 active funders inside of our community now that we're speaking to and helping with our own funding business, all the different people I'm connected to in my network. So tons of information that we connect to it. We try to stay as up to date as possible because, your main revenue inside of the funding space is your success fees on the back end. So if you can't fulfill for clients, you're not going to be making enough money to really probably run the business or ultimately grow the business. So, but yeah, no, I'm glad that's been helpful for you. Yeah, recently we launched that AI feature where you can just chat with it. It's connected to all the data points too. So we see a lot of people asking questions like, "Hey, who's funding in Nevada right now?" It'll give you a list of banks, or what should I put on the Chase application? It'll give you an answer basically right away. So hopefully that's been helpful too. So yeah, we help with the systems install. I talked about the data points as well. We helped place the commandos. So right now we're at the basically the quarter mil a month mark. Like what are your next goals now moving forward with like the next like 60, 90 days, 6 months? What are you trying to take this business at this point?
Yeah, so my main goal right now is just building out this school. I mean, we just hit 20K members, so we're like one of the larger school communities out there, as
Awesome.
far as member count goes, which is great. And I would say our big focus is the monthly recurring revenue because going back to, money coming in, monthly recurring revenue and annual recurring revenue helps out with the ad spend every single month. Therefore, we can scale a lot more. And I'm gonna start pushing Dunphy a little bit more because we've been doing a lot of group coaching
Hmm.
for sure, but my fingers are starting to hurt in my school chats just typing out so many answers in there. So it's nice doing the done for you funding so we can delegate a little bit more. But the goal I would say is 500K in the next, I put October myself for 500K. I think it's doable as long as we keep scaling up the ad spend. I mean, we're hiring heavily right now too. We have multiple setters, multiple closers. We
Hmm.
hired the CSM, so I think it's definitely doable to do 500K by October.
Yeah, 100%. And what do you think are going to be the steps that you're going to take to get there now? Just expand the team, just do more of what you're doing right now, kind of deal.
Yeah, so we already have the system in place. Like we have so many cool systems. We have an AI caller in our school community calls all the leads right off the bat, 3 times, 2 times, 1 time. We have AI systems in place as well, calling the leads. We have setters calling the leads with the power dialers. So there's no reason why we can do that. But I mean, as you know, I mean, if we already have a system in place, all you gotta do is put more money into it, right? So I just increase the ad spend. And then if stuff starts breaking, which you want it to break, you just fix it and you
Hmm.
hire people, right? So the main goal right now is increase ad spend. If we need more setters or whatever it may be, we're going to hire more setters. If we need more CSMs, we'll hire more CSMs. But the main goal right now is just increasing ad spend.
Nice. Let's go. That's the cool thing with running ads and having like that predictable marketing machine is as long as it works, it's kind of like that ATM you talked about. Just put more money into it. It's probably going to break some of the metrics throughout the funnel, but as long as you patch them up and you understand exactly what looks good and doesn't look good, then you can just identify that and focus on it. But no, it's been awesome to see your progress. I mean, we went from 80K months to now 250K months, talking about 500K months. Like there's a very tiny percentage of people in the United States that hit those kind of revenue numbers. So super excited to see you doing that now. We're getting there over the next couple months, which is a great goal to shoot for. And so for anyone kind of looking at this video and hearing your journey and thinking about the CCA program, what would you tell them about it?
Yeah, so once again, I mean, I spent over 200K entirely in mentorships easy, like I said, yours is a whole business in a box. You have the AI systems, you have the Facebook ads, you have the DM ads, you have the SOPs, you have the outsourcing, you have the closing scripts. You pretty much have everything, right? So if you join the community phone at Fast Track, I mean, let's say you pay the amount for the funding, all you need is, 1, 2 clients, whatever it may be to get your money back. And you're gonna fast track because once again, why waste your time if you guys can get, say, approved for 100K in funding, use that money to kind of pay you guys and then just fast track your time and just make the move, right? I'm a big believer in hiring people to, do it faster. So, take the leap, do it, one of the best in the space. Like I said, I spent 30K, 25K, 20K in other mentorships in the funding space and definitely the best one out there, I would say, as far as, the systems and processes and data points and all that stuff. So
So, no, it's been a great experience working with you so far. We already made massive progress and excited to see how far we could take it now moving forward. So, yeah, thanks so much for hopping on, John. It's been a pleasure working with you. And, we'll stay connected here.
awesome. Yeah, I appreciate it as well. And I'll talk to you later.